Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about why evil must exist. And this talk originates from a talk I had with a young man once. I sat at a lake in my German town where I used to live. And a young man, today you never know, you need to ask. A young man came to me from the local missionary and he wanted to talk with me about Jesus. Which is hilarious because he was maybe 18 to 20. He was out of school not very long, I could figure. And it's just always very fun if people come with a big conviction, but you ask a few questions and it's like they are in the middle of the ocean drowning, can't figure out where land is. It's fun. But we had a really good talk. And we came to the question why evil must exist. Now his problem was, why did God create war, violence, rape, murder, all kinds of darkness? And he just didn't know how to deal with that because we always work for the bettering. But somehow, why is that there? Why do we need that element even? Now, the big problem I always like to tell you here also is you can't answer this one by knowledge. You can't read books and figure it out and be like, wow, yeah, this is it. 1 + 1 = 2. It's not a matter of knowledge. It's something you need to understand by experience. So I warn you here, you might follow it. You might say, I understand what you say in the sense of understanding it logically, but truly understanding it by experience is just something entirely different. So that is my warning here. What I'll be talking about, don't fall into the trap that you might believe you understand it. I witnessed that many times, including myself. So I had many dire times actually in my life. I guess we all get it. And I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest, but we get to that later. But also in my life, there were some where things got really dark. Really, really, really dark. There were even times where things were so dark, I didn't even know how to deal with it or myself. So I turned myself over to the dark and became a really bad person. Fortunately, never entirely. Fortunately, I figured out how to deal with myself, my frustration, my anger, and all kinds of things through martial arts. And one thing I learned during that time in the darkness was that the saying that if you want to make life hell, you can always make it worse. And you really understand that if you've ever been personally in the abyss. If you ever lived with a person where you have big trouble with and you can always get their life shittier and they can make your life worse, and you always come up with an even worse idea how to rip each other's lives apart. So it's a cycle of hell, and you can never find bottom. I can assure you that. You cannot find it. So if you want to ruin your own life and other people's life, which is the same, by the way, you'll figure that out eventually. You can do that endless. You will always find it. Deeper pit. And we've all been there. And strangely, you might find it now weird, but I hope you've been there. But we'll get to that a bit later. Because it's a great experience you must make at some point in your life. Now, it is easy to resign in the face of darkness or in the middle of it. It is super easy. But it is crucial to understand that in life, things just happen to everyone. It's not just you or not just that person, to everyone. We all get a little bit different challenges, but be aware that things always happen. And what you need to know is what you make out of it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility. You had a bad teacher and didn't learn it right. Why didn't you put in more effort and taught it yourself? You can find it online. So it's easy to say it's the teacher's responsibility to teach me and he failed. But no, it's your responsibility to make up for it. You have it hard? Okay, yeah. Put in more effort. The same for sports. My physique is not suited for something. Like I had a broken arm twice, a left arm, and I still do martial arts all the time. And I'm really not suited for it. Yeah, okay, you have trouble. Put in more training, more, double it up. And I had met many people, for example, who were way more talented than me, also smarter, but also more talented, but they just quit. You can outwork them all if you just work. What if others discourage us and say what we do is stupid? It's super easy to bodge in that one, especially if multiple people are involved, and you don't stand your ground. But you can also take that energy and say, I will show you who really is wrong, and do it even more intensely and show them if we know that this is our way, we show them what this means and that things can work out in that way. But if you really want to know what it means when the Bible states hell on earth, I recommend to you all live with a narcissist. I did that for many years, and that is hell on earth. I can assure you that. I had hellish years in that regard. They will try everything. They will try everything to stomp you into the ground and prevent you from developing a sense of yourself. They will try to pull like the rock underneath your feet so you float in the air. You don't even know where up and down is anymore, and then it twists you. They will try things like guilt shaming, so you don't try to be yourself. They will say, you make me look bad, if they see a behavior you do and they don't like it. They want to do guilt shaming. Had that. You get yelled at until you budge. So they make your life hell, and first they make your life hell. That is what most people don't realize. And then they offer you, basically, if you comply, they make it nice again. That is such a horrible strategy you can do to a person who you really love from the heart. But they can also threaten, I divorce you if you do that, right? How horrible is that? I will divorce you if you let that happen. I heard that and witnessed that from other people. But even out of that, you can make something. Even out of that. Because narcissists, they burn out your wounds. They show you your weak spots because they exploit them. So they help you, just not in the way that we like to. I hated it. It was, for me, I called the peak of it, I called the year of hell, actually. Because it was so bad that I cannot imagine a worse year anymore in my life by far. It's Garden Eden I have at the moment compared to that. So they help you in a horrible way. And if we sit down actually in these horrible situations and we do our homework and we figure it out in the end, we come out incredibly strong on the other side. It will be absolutely horrible during the time, but once you get out, it will be incredible. You will have your feet on the ground and you will be strong as a mountain. Because if afterwards, for example, a narcissist comes and tells you something A, and you already know it, you can expose them right away, take their power by that, snap just with a finger. You know, you can show that there's nothing to it, that they just tried something. So one reason there's darkness is because in it we grow. We need darkness for growth. It is discomfort that makes us move, and we need discomfort to move forward, right? There's also the saying from the Avatar series, I think it is, that once we hit our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change, hopefully in the right direction, and you figure that out which direction. But that is just the truth. We need the darkness and the discomfort for that. That is why I don't like if things are too smooth and too comfortable, because I know definitely something's going wrong, because I'm stuck. I'm stuck in a local optimum, and I don't move if it's like that. So sometimes in life, things run too smooth and too easy. You can get almost sick of the state. It's like eating the same perfect food every day, and a person comes, "How are you?" "I'm good. How are you?" "I'm good. What a beautiful life." And I don't know, you just feel like this can't be it. This is not what I really want. Do you really want a life like that? For some time, maybe, yeah. But then what you crave is an adventure in which you grow, and the adventure has this darkness looming over it. So one point I want to make here also is, if you're in one of those local optimums where everything is nice but horrible at the same time, because it is nice, you need to change it. And you need to change it for the worse. Because often when you're stuck in those situations, you need to make it worse first before it can get much better. Because you're stuck in a local optimum, right? So you need that head-on adventure into the darkness to grow. So don't get too comfortable and don't be afraid to move on and make things worse again. It's not about finding the optimal perfect state. It's about having an extremely awesome run and adventure. But also I want to remind people, if you go out of your local optimum, don't drop things too easily. If things really help you to move forward, good friends, whatever it is, keep them, stick to them. Don't just toss things too easily. What I say is make things worse first. There's a time when you have to let go of certain things, comforts often. And if you see that it makes sense to let go of them, let go of them. Sometimes it makes sense to let go of old friends because you just don't share the same values or the same hobbies anymore, whatever it is. In that sense, in the front, then more friends wait, for example, new friends, new adventures where you meet new people, which match you maybe better. So there's always time to let things go and let them come by that again. So if you don't let go, you can never let come more. That's why people get stuck in the first place, because they cling to everything they have. They amass, and once they have to let go, they are scared and tightly hold everything. And that's why they suffer so much. But you need to just let it go like a river. You will always get more in the front. It's like a water stream. That once you figure that out, you relax quite a lot about that in life. But most people never actually figure that level out. So we figured out that out of darkness we grow now. That's the first answer I can give you and I gave to that young man. But how about real darkness? War, rape, drugs. This is not your out of that you grow thing, right? Now, I have no beautiful answer for those first. Because you must be aware that there are journeys out there where you will not come back. If you go on those journeys, whatever happens to you, even if you come back, you won't come back anymore. If you understand what I mean. You can really screw up. That's what your parents always try to prevent you from. If you get sidetracked too much, that's it. You're done. Don't even try afterwards anymore. Like it's just over. Game over. Try next life. So once we get closer to these things, it scares the hell out of, at least me, if I think about war, real war coming to my place, it's extremely scary. Or if you think about nuclear war, also incredibly scary to think about how much destruction it would yield, that it would annihilate the human race even at the worst. And it just can happen like that overnight. So extreme darkness is also a compass. Because everyone knows deep down in their heart how dangerous this deep darkness is. And this guides you or me to the light. And even if you get caught in it or had to endure it to some degree at least, you will try afterwards to the best of your abilities to prevent that, to prevent war, because you know what it means. You know that there's just nothing in it. So the potential for darkness is the potential for goodness. Darkness is a compass. Life sometimes plays this game of forgetting to keep things interesting. For example, we forget how bad war could be. But by the way, that's just one thing life does. It really likes to do that. Funny thing, once you figure it out. It makes you forget things, so you keep yourself entertained and interested into life. Now, we forget how horrible things can be like war. But the closer we get to it again, or when it happens, we get a strong beacon and a compass. And then we go towards the light again. That's the cycle we are a bit caught in, right? I always like to say it's the greatest adventure you can imagine. To the right, there's always the abyss. And a few steps and you will fall down. Not just a bit. You might even die down. Like, game over, humanity, try next time, right? So there is always the abyss on the right side. And there is the sacred holy land on the left side. I'm overstating it a bit, but that is the greatest adventure, and you're always driving at the edge. That is exactly what life is, being right at the edge between the abyss and between heaven. So the potential for a catastrophe keeps us in check. It keeps us in check. It keeps us on the road, but we need this to move forward. We would not move an inch if things would be happy. And it's also not in our nature, as I stated before. You would really, once you get to this comfortable spot, it is horrible. I can't bear it. Like, everyone had these family meetings where you get together, you talk your stuff, and after 1 or 2 hours, you just would like to move wherever, whatever it is. Must not be better, probably not, but at least you're out of there. Even if you like everyone, doesn't matter. Yeah. So we also seek darkness. We also seek darkness because it moves us forwards in life. It brings us exactly to the point why we don't just move all the way in safety, because that is not life. Life is driving along the edge. Always. It is how it works, because there is no safety in the first place. But that is another story, by the way. So to summarize, we need darkness to grow, because it is discomfort, and discomfort makes us move and grow and change. It is a great motivator, maybe the greatest. But we also need darkness for the potential of goodness. They are the same thing. They are two sides of the same coin. You can't have darkness without goodness and goodness without darkness. And it's a strong compass knowing that there are horrible things out there. And this yields the potential that we know we can make things better, and we don't want that to happen, to have these dark things happen. Now, let me add one more thing. I told you that if you want to make life hell, it is boundless. But I also want to give you a great beacon in the other direction. Because look at the history of humanity. If you want to make life better, it is boundless too. Consider what miracles we have done, what diseases we have cured, what technological feats we managed. It is entirely amazing. And yes, we almost eradicated ourselves on the way, but we didn't. We actually didn't. That is what absolutely matters, and that must continue in that way, so we can continue our adventure as humans. So is it perfect? No. Can it be perfect? It will never be. No chance. This darkness will always be within every one of us, in every society. You can never get rid of it. We need it to drive us. But are we better off than 200 years ago? Yes, most definitely. So I want to motivate everyone. Let's get out there every day and live up to that. And do our little part to make life better. And enjoy it together. We'll pick up the litter in front of the door, because in front of your door is also your house. Your house is the world. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of everyone around you. And they will take care of you too. Love is always a two-way street. You love people, they love you back. It's very important. And the more you nurture, the more nurturing you get back. So you can always make life better. Always. But I still want to advocate to the younger folks here. At some point in life, you need to explore the darkness within yourself or outside of yourself, which is the same thing, but I guess you'll figure that out hopefully at some point in your life. But you need to explore darkness. Otherwise, you will never be complete. You will never have a complete understanding of life. You will never grasp how unbelievably greatly off we are. But do it carefully, and be careful not to get lost entirely. But also have faith that sometimes you go into the darkness, and usually when you do, you have no clue whether you get out. But have faith in yourself that even if you're falling into the abyss for a while, you can figure it out. Have faith in yourself. Have strong faith, because you can at any point move out of there and work yourselves out of there. And you can prevail if you want to, and you can get stronger if you want to. So explore the darkness and have faith in yourself. That is the biggest advice that I would tell you here, and you will come out greatly. And with every step that you will make, and every piece, you will get stronger. Everyone around you will get stronger, and you will help humanity make a step further, and you will help make this world move forward in a healthy way. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and see you next time.